It's me, Renee. I'm back. So today I'm doing another tag. This is the Nosey librarian tag. I wasn't tagged specifically, but I saw it yesterday. Yeah, yesterday on Jashana's channel. I'll link her down below. And yeah, it just seems like a very fun tag to do. Really, it's got really great questions and whatnot, both personal and kind of more ordinary. And yeah, really seems like a great tag to do, so I'm doing it. Yeah. Why would I say that? Of course I would do it. I mean, sometimes I say the most darndest idiotic things, don't I? But yeah. As always, often when I do tags, I want try to see the original tag first, just kind of see like if there's anything that the video I saw kind of left out or misinterpreted. I couldn't find the original tag for this one. People have said that it's created by Stripped Cover Lit, and they have a channel still out, and they have lots of tags and lots of original tags. I can't find the video for this tag, so if they privated it or what they did, I'm not sure. But anyway, yeah, it just seems like a very fun tag, so I'm doing it. And if there's some mistake here and there, um, I tried to find an original, couldn't find it, so my bad. Okay, so first question is most influential library in your life. So boom, hits you like with starting heavy with like most influential library in your life. It's not really the lightweight. It's not really easy question, really. I suppose. Well, it's not really a question that's ordinary or everyday. It's not really like, do you want water or juice? It's just groundbreaking, most influential in your life. So yeah, I had to do a little bit of thinking with this one. So yeah, as most booktubers, well, as a booktuber, as a book lover, I love libraries. I'm a librarian, so have been to a lot of libraries. A lot of them has changed my life for different reasons and stuff. I actually have like a bucket list to go to all the libraries in Norway. There's a lot of libraries in the whole country. We have like a law that says you have to have a library in each town in all of the country. So yeah, there's quite a lot of libraries in Norway. Oh, cool! Sorry, I just got distracted. It just a neighboring cat just went by and just hid in on my veranda. So that's cute. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, libraries. I've been to a lot of them. A lot of them has been important for me. I'm not sure really what. I mean, I thought I had a question. I thought I had an answer, and then I suddenly rethinking it. Um, I suppose I could go like the easy way and say the library in my university because I spent some time there while studying, while doing my degree. But I feel like that's a bit of a cop out, really, and I don't know if that was so influential, like the most influential in my life. No, yeah, I'm thinking I'm gonna go with my. You know what I'm gonna do? Yeah, I know. You see my really thinking, don't you? Isn't that fun? Yeah, I think at least. But yeah, what I'm gonna answer is the library from my high school. So the library in my high school, they had it was like a big library, which was kind of obvious because the high school I went to was one of the biggest high schools in my area or my county, really. So naturally, it would have a big library as well. And the librarians there were very nice. They helped me find stuff when I need stuff. And yeah, uh, and yeah, you might think like, well, it's a school library, so and it's a high school library, so they only had like curriculum books and non-fiction books. No, no, they had a lot of fiction books. They had a lot of English books, no problem. That's actually where I found my copy of found a copy. That sounds like I stole it. That's actually where I borrowed Grisling and read it for the first time because a friend of mine, she loved it and she said like I should read it. Found it in the library, borrowed it, loved it. Well, yeah, loved it. And so yeah, I found some great books there. I spent some recesses in the library, just kind of looking through books or looking in magazines and stuff, and just like enjoying the library. Sorry. And also in my third year, in my last year in high school, Norway is just 3 years in high school. A system in Norway, just quickly, it's 7 years in grade school, 3 years in middle school, and 3 years in high school. So it's together it's 13 years. But yeah, so yeah, for my last year in high school, I actually joined a it was like book club thingy. So the idea was to like to come together to talk about books and to also maybe do some creative writing. It was kind of I think it was like some sort of like idea behind it because it was like arranged. It was like the people in charge were people from the student student council. So they kind of like decided to do this. We didn't really end up having that many meetings because I suppose slightly because most of us were third graders, so we had a lot of school to do and stuff. Though it was open for people from first till third. But yeah, so we didn't end up having that many meetings. We had like I think we had just had 3, maybe 4 throughout the whole year. So yeah, but still, I mean, those meetings took place. Those meetings took place in the library. We the first meeting was just kind of getting to know each other and talking about books we loved, etc., etc. I think we did some creative writing, and yeah, so yeah, my high school library is the short answer to it. But hey, it's fun to elaborate, isn't it? At least I think so. But yeah, next question: the title of your biography. This one, I suppose, yeah, probably should do more research before I start filming. But this one, yeah, I'll title of my biography. I don't really think I was about to say, I think I asked this before, but I don't think I have. Don't really think I have precisely answered before in other tags. Title of my biography. I suppose maybe I could like do the pessimistic version and say like on the outside looking in, because often I don't understand and things often clash. And yeah, I'll link my books and autism tag in down below to so you see like me and people don't always get together. They don't always match really. But yeah, so I could go pessimistic say that way. I could also say like libraries and me. I don't know. Biography of my life is just like a big title that should sum up your life. I'm not sure. I suppose maybe something like silliness, books, and shenanigans. Well, maybe shenanigans, books, and issues. Could be it. I don't know. If you have suggestions, please, please leave them down below. Maybe you haven't noticed, but I got I have words. I have candy in my mouth. It's kind of like a candy with ginger in it, to like just kind of buttering with like while I'm filming. It's a good candy. So yeah, that's why I'm really the like that. And yeah, so moving on. Prompt number 3. Story from your life you hope your librarian never finds out about. Honestly, and yeah, as I said, I've been to a lot of libraries, used a lot of libraries. I can't really say any of them that I'm very close to any of the librarians really. I've never really been close to any of them. I suppose ish like in grade school the librarians weren't really librarians, they were just they were teachers who also had responsibility for a library. So they weren't really different persons. And fine. But yeah, so I'm just gonna skip this one because I don't know, because I don't really have that much relationship to librarians, and also because I haven't really done that much shameful. I would say I mean most of the stuff like it's not to say I haven't done stuff I regret and stuff I shouldn't maybe have done in hindsight and stuff, but like everything you do makes you the person you are. So I don't believe in regrets in that way, in a way, really, because yeah, I mean everything, yeah, I said what you do makes you the person you are, and if you didn't do something in the past, you wouldn't be where you are today. I mean, you learn from your mistakes, mostly, hopefully. So, yeah. Moment. For once, I have this milk. Novelty. It's milk. It's milk with like beets, and I think it's ginger in it as well. I'm doing all the ginger stuff today, but yeah, just a bit thirsty, really. So there. Yeah. Prompt number 4. I don't know. That's a legit like 4 because. But yeah, this is your favorite word. Yeah, it's kind of like I think this is kind of like fun-ish. I suppose you have different kind of book lovers. You have some book lovers who just kind of read, but they just kind of read whatever they get their hand and don't really look into books and stuff. And maybe they aren't interested in language or words or stuff. And then you have the book lovers who love to read. They get all the books. They go to used bookstores. They go to look at all the best-selling lists. They look at underrated lists. They go everywhere to find book tips. They are very strict about like grammar and they love words, etc., etc. And then you have those like me. Though I suppose maybe I'm very unique. Well, I suppose some ways I am, but probably not that unique. But yeah, I love to read. Duh, obviously. But I also really love words. I love languages. I speak 3: Norwegian, English, and Spanish. Well, I suppose it depends who you ask if I speak Spanish, because my sisters are like, nah, your Spanish is not that good. Then my friends say it's good, so I don't know. But like I can watch a movie in Spanish and understand like 98% of it, so I would say I speak it. But yeah, so yeah, I really like language, like partial language, but like grammar has never been a thing at all, never. So like often like both because I'm bad at it, like in all the languages. And I suppose I think it's slightly better in Spanish because the grammar in that one is kind of easier in a way, I would say, than English and Norwegian. But yeah, yeah, so grammar has never really been my forte. I've never been good at it, and like if anyone says like, "Oh, that article or that book is full of bad writing or bad grammar," I'm like, "Oh, is it? I didn't know that was written wrong or used wrong or like stuff like that." Just go straight over my head. I just like, "Oh, oh, oh, oh." I didn't notice it. So yeah, but what I do, as I said, what I do really enjoy, I do really enjoy the words. So like all the words that are not really used that much nowadays, or words that are still are used now but are like niche words. So yeah, so favorite words. So still like to choose a favorite word. To choose a favorite word, I think it's kind of difficult because there's so many cool words. Like I love flabbergasted. I love shenanigans, as I just said. So kind of like old timey words, I suppose, in a way. I love so yeah, flabbergasted, shenanigans. At the moment, blacking are other cool words, but there are lots of fun words, lots and lots of fun words. Yeah, I'm just gonna stop it at there because there's lots of more questions. But yeah, I love words so much. And question number 5. This one seems in a way very like out there. It's not like what does this have to do with other questions in the tag or like with librarians as librarians or libraries in general, but it's there. So yeah. Sorry. And it is 3 weird things you're afraid of and 1 awful way to die. So that's what you're gonna answer to this one. So like outline, but hey, I suppose it works for like the nosy part of the tag. So yeah, 3 weird things I'm afraid of. I'm not really sure. I can't really say I'm afraid of most of any weird things. Really, like I'm not 3 anyway. Like the things I'm afraid of, like I suppose like if a big spider I'd seen somewhere, I might get afraid. But like it's a small spider, I don't really care. Might as well say it here, but small digression. When I was in Australia, 2000, I was like 8, 9. I saw actually 2 spiders by like the toilet. It was like outdoor toilet on a beach, but like still. And I thought like, oh, there's 2 spiders there. But I don't really think I panicked or anything. I just felt like, oh, there's spiders there. And also I saw them on my way out of the cubicle, on the toilet cubicle, and it wasn't my cubicle, so yeah. I mean, it didn't really bother me that much, but fun story. But yeah, things I'm afraid of. Yeah, so like, so I will say like, if it's a huge spider, I'll probably be a bit afraid. If maybe it's a big snake, I would be afraid. But like, if it's just like small, or if it's just like over there, like in general, if they're small or if they're medium sized, and if they don't really look, sorry, intimidating, no, I wouldn't care. I wouldn't really care. Um, but other stuff. I'm also afraid of the dark. That's not really that weird. I'm afraid of heights, but that's also pretty common. Um, I think the only thing that's weird that I'm afraid of is probably maybe the way the phone sounds weird. And with that, I mean like I'm afraid of phone calls, like talking to people on the phone. So like I can talk to my family fine, but like other than that, I kind of like more texting. But I think like that's not really that weird. It's I suppose it's weird in like a worldly way, but it's not weird like for my generation because it seems like a lot of my generation, people in 20, 30s, we only like to text. We don't really like to talk on the phone. But I would still say it's kind of weird in a way because I mean, at least for me, I don't really have that many bad phone calls where people will yell at me and stuff. So why I'm weird, why I'm afraid of it, I don't know. Maybe I just think of like this or making up all these scenarios in my mind that of all the people who could call me and just do awful stuff. Though, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I don't really have a question. I have a really good answer for like weird things I'm afraid of because I'm not really. Uh, no, I can't really say anything. Though I do have an answer for one awful way to die because yeah, you see, I love books. Also, as at least as some readers, I think a lot, I daydream a lot, I overthink a lot. So yeah, awful way to die. Honestly, this one wasn't that hard for me to come up with an answer with for because sorry, with this one I'm actually saying being buried alive because that would just be so scary. I think I actually also saw in QI something somewhere that they used to like bury people alive with like a phone or something because there was some in the 1800s or something they I suppose had be later on but like there was a time in history that people were buried alive but they were actually like buried accidentally like they were buried alive because they fainted and the doctors weren't good so they thought they had died so they ended up being buried so like yeah so I think maybe they were buried like with a shovel or something but yeah. So it was yeah, being buried alive. That would just be so scary because not only are you inside a casket that's so short and it's not roomy or anything, but there's also earth around you. So if you somehow get off the casket, you have to get above like surface above the earth and like how are you supposed to do that? Because I mean, you wouldn't really be buried with a shovel, so how would you survive or like manage it? So yeah, that's just creeps me out, and a whole different level, really. A whole different level. That I don't never really want to do that. Never, never, never. So yeah, I suppose no one really wants that, but yeah. Now, sixth question is a more bit different. It's more of a easier answer, easier question really. It's more yeah, simpler question, and it's what is a what was your favorite book in grade school? First, actually, it's kind of fun to say. At least I think at least first when I saw this title, I was like, "What's grade school?" And I Googled like, "Oh, it's primary school," because most of the time I just say primary for like the first school years. I say primary school instead of grade school, but apparently they're the same. But yeah, so in grade school or primary school, I loved the Nancy Drew books. Yeah, I'm a 90s kid, so I was like way old. I mean, because the Nancy Drew books they came out in like the 1930s, the first books, so it's old series. So like I suppose my generation wasn't really the Nancy Drew generation, or wasn't like meant for it. But yeah, anyway, I really love those books. I was so into them. So yeah, I read a lot of them. I got them from the library. I went to used bookstores to get them. I read some that I found from my friends' houses. I just devoured them so much. Yeah. I actually never finished them, but I mean that's true. I think it's like 150 or maybe 95 books. There's a lot of books. I think maybe I read like 50 of them, or maybe like 40 of them. But yeah, I didn't get to all of them. I read some of them like a few years ago and I thought like, oh, it's kind of childish you to do now. Like didn't really feel like so now I'm not really before I used to like have an idea like I wanted to read the whole series. Now like eh, I don't care. It'll just be the unfinished series for me. But yeah, the Nancy Drew series. I also really liked and loved the Narnia books. Loved them as a kid. I read the Harry Potter books as a kid, and yeah, I suppose I was kind of into that as a kid. Now I'm not that much into it, but as a kid, I really enjoyed them. I was like waiting for the next book to come out, talking about it in recess in school and etc. etc. But yeah, but like when I was like 12, 13, I just kind of over it. But like when I was like 8, 9, 10, I was really into it. Uh, mm, Other than that, Narnia, Nancy Drew, both start with N. Narnia, Nancy Drew. There's some Norwegian series like Seine Rotta. I also really loved Tzatziki. That's a Swedish series. Yeah, it has a name of the food, but yeah, it's a book series. And yeah, I also really liked the Bobsy Kids. Really love those books. Yeah, also there was actually it's not a Norwegian book series, so not important to you. But yeah, those actually also long ongoing series that I suppose yeah, a lot of the series I loved in grade school were mystery books. When I come to think of it. But yeah, I mean mystery are kind of fun and accessible for younger kids. But yeah, so anyway, the series I'm gonna talk about is the Knut books. They were written by an author from my hometown where I grew up, and like all of them, all or at least like 98% of the plot or the books took place in my hometown. So it was so fun to have like a mystery set around my hometown. So like they went to the center in my hometown, they went in to the harbor, etc. It was like so familiar and so fun. And that's not really something I see that much because I don't really come from a big town. I don't come from New York. I don't come from LA. There's not really that many books that take place in Buda. So yeah, it's really fun. And yeah, one of the books were like smuggling, and there were like thieves, and there's all this drama in this like set in the series. Even though the town itself is not that scary or anything, but those mystery books you can't really have mystery of like the missing cucumber. You have to have something dramatic and big. But yeah, I really love those books. And though they are probably not in English, so this is just you hearing about my childhood series. But yeah, so I love those books. And yeah, I suppose that's kind of it. Well, I suppose there's more, but am I gonna go on forever? Probably not, because you can see my other videos on stuff that I love to read, and yeah, I can't really name all my favorite books from my childhood years in one video. I can, but like not in this video because there's more questions. So yeah, I'm gonna cap it at that. And yeah, let me give you a moment. Give me a moment. So question number 7. Yeah, and also kind of like I don't really understand why this one is in this tag also, but like yeah, what do you? That's how it is. The question, however, is how has your interactions with the police been? So this question, I'm not sure if this is because I'm white and cisgendered and live in Norway, or if I'm because I'm boring and I've lived a boring life. But honestly, I haven't really had any, no, not any interactions with police at all I can think of. No, no interactions at all. I was supposed to like I met police now and then. Like there was one time when the police came to my school in high school because we were last year of high school and people used to do like prags and stuff, and they told us like, yeah, we know you want to celebrate, but like don't be too loud and etc etc. But that wasn't really interaction with me, and that wasn't personal, and yeah, that wasn't really personal with me, interactions with me specifically. That was like to a group. So yeah, other than that, I haven't really had any. So white privilege, I suppose. Well, I suppose I know it is. So yeah. So next question is all-time favorite book cover. And I was thinking about this one. I think maybe I've had a video on book covers that I love. I'm not quite sure. If I have it, I'll link it down below. If not, I'll do another one. I'll do a video on it. Might do several because book covers are great things to talk about in videos. At least I think so. But yeah, also like favorite all-time book cover. I mean, really, I kind of hate these tags where you ask like favorite all-time this, all-time that, because how are you supposed to choose? Even like if you say like favorite author, favorite series, like, well, you have that series that you love when you're down, and that series that you love when you need need some mystery. I mean, it's favorite for different periods and different moods and stuff. Like choosing one specific answer and one specific book for favorite book cover, it's not possible. At least not for me. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you some examples of some books that I love, with some covers that I love. So I really enjoy. Surprise, surprise! Red, white, and royal blue. So this cover, I really love how the title is in colors, and I really like the background is colored, as some like trend in romance is lately, and you have like you have the superstars here, and you kind of have them in kind of like it's kind of fun how the title is huge and like the protagonists are like a small part of it. But yeah, I still really enjoy it. And yeah, I really like that it's drawn, and you see like the moodiness of James. I'm suddenly I'm sorry, the moodiness of Henry. He looks like a bit mad, and also like Alex is a bit mad. I mean, in the beginning, they're kind of mad at each other, so you can't see up there. I really like it, and you see them also here, and yeah, I really like this cover. And then I really like this one as well. It's also you have like a background of one color, and then you have the title is big, and then instead of having like the protagonist's face or the protagonist facade or like the protagonist whole like person here, you just have frogs, which I really like. I really like how you can kind of imagine the protagonist in your head. Well, she just gets described in the book, but yeah, I really like books where books where you don't get a picture of protagonist. Though I do also like protagonists on covers, so I do like them both. But yeah, I really like this one. You have this one. So you see like the title's also kind of big, and then you have like drawings here. You have leaves, and then you have arrow and roads, and then you have like just facades, like the shadows of the persons. They're not really clear; they're just like shadows. And then looking up the sky, and yeah, I really like this. It's really fun. It's a really nice cover. Why I will say that, of course, it's answering to this question, but yeah. And then also we have a girl called Shameless. The title is big, and then you have like lots of objects here, and then you have one color that's dark, and yeah. And also, I mentioned this before. In beautiful covers, you have to mention these two books. It is European Travel for Gentlemen and Women, or this series. I mean, it's just so beautiful, the drawings and the big title, and yeah, you have like the setting here, and then you have werecats, and then you have all of it really, and just so beautiful, so eye-catching. And then you have the covers in the series, which is like persons, but it's more like an object that's more in focus. And I really like that. And yeah, it's just so atmospheric and nice. So yeah. Is there any other books that I love the covers to? I suppose there are other people, but I can go on for hours talking about covers, so I'm just gonna cap it there really. And then the next question is also like, how does this relate? But fun question, I would say, in a way. Well, it is fun. It's actually the last question, official one at least, and it is unofficial one. How many places have you lived? So I suppose this depends how you define live. So I've lived for like a long time in just think a little bit, 1, 2, 3 places. But I lived for 1 year in different places. So like I spent 1 year actually in Australia, in Sydney, well outside Sydney in 2001. So that wasn't like, it was just like 12 months, so it wasn't that long. We did live there. I did go to school there and stuff, but I didn't live there for many years. So how long do you count lived? Yeah, I suppose you could count that because 12 months is kind of a long time, really. And then I also lived 1 year in Chile in 2009. That was also like, well, I suppose that was like 11 months. But yeah, it was also for like a school year. And then I suppose this is more like, do you count this? Because, okay, story time, explanation time. I was born in 92, in spring, in June 92. In August in 92, we moved to we moved to US and lived there for a year, like from 92 August till spring of 93. So technically, I lived in Australia. No, sorry, I say it again. I lived in the US outside San Francisco, but it was my first year on this earth of my life, so I don't remember anything from it. I didn't really have an I suppose I don't really think I have any choice or anything from that area at all. So does it count? It probably was in my first passport. But apart from that, I don't know if it counts. But yeah. So yeah, those are the places I lived outside of Norway. And then in Norway I was born, just say it now, so big city. So I was born and raised in Bodø. And then I lived lived 1 year in Bergen. It was kind of like a high school thingy. Well, not high school. It was like a college-ish thingy. I might do a video on that someday, but yeah, not right now. It's kind of college-ish with no grades. It's kind of like Norwegian Scandinavian school type thingy. But yeah, lived in Bergen for 1 year for that. Sorry. And then I sorry. And then I lived in Oslo for 3 years. Took my degree there. And now I live in outside Stavanger, Klepp. I'll use there as well because big place. Would you really rob me? No. And if you're hackers, you still remember where I live in Klepp. So yeah, I'm just gonna say where I live. Bit as it may. So yeah. So Bergen, Bodø, Oslo, Klepp. 4 places in Norway. Well, almost I moved 3 places in Norway. Yeah, it's how many places have you lived? So 4 places in Norway and 3 places outside Norway. So 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 places. So yep, that's the answer to that one. The long and elaborate answer, but yeah. And then the last question, though, is this a question? It is simply tag 11 booktubers you admire, and you want to do this tag. Sorry, so this is more like, I mean, most tags have like an where you tag question. Some of them have like part of the tag, and some of them like at the end you just tag it's taggable. So yeah, 11 booktubers I admire. Like some booktubers, yeah, 11 is kind of a big number, I would say. Okay, just kind of again, I kind of forgot to prepare her, but I'm gonna say Annalisa Ely, because if she talks about autism, she's open about that. She's open about her asexuality. Might be wrong. I'm pretty sure she is asexual. Sorry if I'm wrong here, Annalisa. So yeah, and she just has a great presence and presence and a good vibe that she gives into booktube world. So yeah, I would say her. And then I would also say Katie Davis, because she's name book. I mean, I try and tell people like, but like naming who you admire. I mean, putting things into words. I suppose Katie because she also has a cool vibe. I mean, welcoming vibe, and she really likes historical books that I've been more into lately, and she has interesting books on the shelf, and she likes does good videos, and I don't know. Yeah, because Katie, yeah, that's me being elegant and eloquent, isn't it? So that's 2. Blanking. I mean, I suppose you gotta blank at some point in your tag, and you can't just be boom, boom, boom. And sometimes you just try and blank. I suppose I blanked earlier, but yeah, now I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, I will tag people in a video, and then I'll mention a word or two of how fun, cool they are. Yeah, I'll do that. And hope you have a nice weekend. Might happen. I might do a wrap up that comes up tomorrow or Sunday, but it might come up next week. Not quite sure. But anyway, this is me saying Renee out.